Good evening, Rush Nation. Welcome to the 5 Yard Rush NFL podcast with me, your host, the Hat Rack with the Heart of Gold, the Joel Hewitts, joined today by the other one. You can't see the woods for the trees, Alex Woods. Alex, how you doing?
Yeah, we're vibing. We're 24 hours late, and I apologize.
We are 24 hours late.
Yeah, very, very sorry. The reason we're 24 hours late is my fault, and it's all my fault. I apologize. I decided to go sit with the bigwigs and experience corporate football.
Who was it, Derby?
Yes, it was the massive, mighty Derby County who decided to play the less massive and mighty Norwich City. It was an extremely boring 1-0, but there were free beverages.
Ooh, that's not so bad. Well, worth missing as well. I was a little under the weather as well, and we've got Pete locked away in an unsecure location. He was just wandering around shouting from the top of his lungs without a shirt on, saying something like the longest active winning streak. I don't know, but hey, that's it. It was very much, we're going streaking. I think it's something Bears related, but I'm not entirely certain how he's doing. But yeah, let's do it. The and me, we're mixing up this week. We're going to start with the news.
Yes, sir. News from the underground.
Alex, mate, it's been a minute since we did a show. A lot's happened. Starting off with the poor man. The streak is over. We're not talking about the Undertaker here because that happened a long time ago. We're talking about Mike Evans with a broken clavicle, out for the season. The streak is dead. Honestly, a little part of me is kind of like relieved for him. Let's say he'd have played the entire season, not hit it. Headlines would have been, as he dropped off, there's so much good young talent. He shouldn't be taking the ball away from this. It's not his fault. And a broken clavicle, man. Like, eesh. What do you end up with? 140 yards on the season. Is he out? Is he done, or do you think he'll come back and have another go next year?
It's done. He's done. Yeah,
Dun,
I think
dun, dun.
I don't know if like he was all there mentally this year, and like was kind of all signed up for what is next of the Bucks project and what is there. I kind of feel like if they make the championship game, he'll be back. But if they just like a one and done in the playoffs and they've still got a little bit more to do, he might call it a day.
Yeah, fair enough. And look, Mike Evans, first ballot Hall of Fame, easy. Weird thing is, you don't really like think of him in that way, and I'm as bad as anybody for it. I love Larry Fitzgerald, and he didn't do half of what Mike Evans did. Fine, he made it to a Super Bowl. He never won one. Obviously, Mike won one. I don't know if he went to two. I can't quite remember. And still, if you were getting people to like, if you asked me to list the top 5 to 10 wide receivers of all time, I'd forget about Mike Evans, and then somebody would say, "You've got to put Mike Evans in." I go, "Of course, you've got to put Mike Evans in there." So, God bless him. And in other pretty tragic Bucks news, Doug Martin, the muscle hamster, passed away. But his family asked for some help from the authorities when he struggled with his mental health, and he passed away in police custody. An investigation is underway. That is just horrible. Doug Martin, I mean, most people know Doug Martin because of like fantasy seasons and things like that, and I certainly do. He was always one of my favorite running backs, and his name kept popping up recently because of Scatterboo. Like, nobody really spoke about Doug Martin for a long while. There was years where he wasn't mentioned, and now with the resurgence of that type of runner, it was weird, like coincidence that all of a sudden his name's like back in the press, and then his name is, for the worst part, back in the press. So that one did shake me a little bit. He's only 36. It's always weird when somebody that's younger than you passes away. Obviously, it's not younger than you, Alex. You've got 10 years behind me. But yeah, God bless Doug Martin. I hope they do something nice for him at the next game. Would you say he's a Ring of Honor Knight type of guy. I don't think he's a Hall of Famer, but like, is he an all timer for the Bucks? I don't know.
I don't think so. But like, that's not for me to really say. That's up for the Bucks organization. There would be no fuss or anything like that if he got a Ring of Honor posthumously or anything like that. There would be no there'd be no uproar if they retired his shirt. There'd be no uproar about any of it. It is once again one of those that we genuinely need to like look at, and the NFL is doing a lot at the moment, but there is always something that more could be done, and we always need to look at the CTE and the concussion protocol and how those type of runners are looked after and assessed post game.
Yeah, especially after like hanging it up, I think there's a responsibility to do some due diligence and just make sure that there are biannual or annual checks and just people checking in and whatnot and almost enforcing it. I know there's sort of a pension that gets paid out, isn't it, from the NFLPA? I would probably tie it into that. Yeah, we're going to keep like paying you out once you've retired, as long as you keep going to these things once a year. We want to make sure that you're getting the right health and scene too. So, yeah, God bless him, Doug Martin. On to, there's no segue. It's really difficult to go from somebody passing away. I just wanted to get that all done before we like get into all of the mirth.
Of course, yeah.
Absolutely, Doug. The Pro Bowl games has been announced this afternoon is moving to Super Bowl week. I mean, you shake your head, but the Pro Bowl games is actually quite good fun. And sticking it in that week, I think is all right, because they really, really try and drag out some like events and stuff and interviews with people, and the build up to the actual Super Bowl itself is just kind of weak. So I think shifting this around, yeah, perfectly fine. Just like a fun day out, go see Josh Allen. And that slipped out then, but immediately my brain went to seeing Josh Allen in the Pro Bowl games, which means I don't think he's making the Super Bowl. That's you heard it here first.
That was a faux pas. But the most important question about this and moving this game is, what does it do to the ESPYs?
Okay.
Was it do to the ESPYs? Because the ESPYs is always at the end of Pro Bowl week before the Super Bowl.
I guess they'd still probably hold it at the same time. They'll just have it before the Pro Bowl. I mean, I don't think anybody went, hey, you know what? He wasn't going to win an award, but did you see him in the Pro Bowl games? Let's give him a trophy. Most like Mr. Irrelevant, there'll be something out there from. But yeah, I thought that was interesting, the way that they're shifting it about. They're still trying out a few things. I don't think we've got it written down here, but like speaking of a few things, I saw a post about them needing to review a little bit on the onside kick. Nobody's recovered one in a long time. We've sorted out the kickoff and all of that, kept everything kind of exciting. I think they overly ruined the onside kick. I know they changed it a little bit this year to say that you don't have to announce it or something. It still has to be in the fourth quarter. You still have to be behind, but you don't have to say, hey, everyone, guess what we're doing. It's usually pretty obvious anyway, but I think they're going to start to relax that a little bit. Like, who doesn't love an onside kick? I'm a Saints fan. The onside kick will forever be one of the greatest plays of all time. And therefore, like, to come out into the beginning of the second half and do one of those, it's pretty damn exciting. And even now, you watch him. I was even watching this week when, I think it might be the Titans, but somebody kicked one off, and I was like, oh, even in a who cares week 7 like matchup, an onside kick is still good fun. So yeah, they're going to continue to mix it up a little bit as they go. What else we got in the news, Alex? I'm going to have a drink.
The Jets are thinking of benching Justin Fields. Shock. So 0-7. Justin Fields sucks. They're thinking of benching Justin Fields and playing Tyrod Taylor. However, Schefter reported about an hour ago Tyrod Taylor's day-to-day with a hamstring injury. So...
Well, we're going to have to bring in Tyrod Taylor's backup, a Justin Fields. Never heard of him. So if he does play, if Fields does play, then at least we can say, well, it's only a backup.
That's it.
What could you expect from him?
But Woody Johnson was asked about it because it's Woody Johnson with the Jets, and he gets more questions about quarterbacks than Aaron Glenn, who's the head coach. So, but Woody Johnson said, "It's not my decision; it's the head coach's decision." So, Justin Fields, you're never going to play another snap as long as Tyrod Taylor's fit. I would,
which is a shame because Tyrod's fine, but I don't find it very exciting. I don't want to tune in to watch Tyrod Taylor play each week. I tune in to watch Justin Fields. I don't care how bad it is. Like I enjoy watching the Jets. I enjoy the suffering that you get from it. But now I'm not even half excited for Tyrod Taylor. And yeah, fine. They're going to end up like tanking. They're just going to out tank the Dolphins at this point. And we've already spoke about the quarterback class coming up. What do you do? I think the Jets need to, I don't know, they'll either stick with Tyrod Taylor as the starter next year or make a trade or something. Do the exact same thing that they tried to do with Aaron Rodgers and pull Kirk Cousins over or something like that.
I mean, like Jets fans wouldn't be ashamed with Kirk Cousins right now. Jets fans probably bite your head off. Like most Jets fans, especially that like young 20-something boy. I don't know if you again saw him leaving the stadium. There was the ESPN. So the ESPN guy was like, "What do you think about today's loss?" It's like, "I hate this team. I was born into it. I'm never leaving, but I hate it." And it was you saw that he was just about to go and cry, and it was so sad.
It's so sad. This goes back to last week as saying, there's got to be an age where you allow the youth that accidentally picked a team or got forced into it by their families to be able to choose, no judgment. But he said, he's going to stick with it. So obviously people have said, feel free to go and support the Giants, but which you could do. There's a good couple of reasons to go out there and do that. Although I just saw, speaking of the Giants, it's not in our news, but they are they're wide receiver hunting, and it's the guy that was just cut by somebody. I've forgotten who it is now.
Bless them. They need a wide receiver.
They do need a wide receiver.
They do need a wide receiver.
I can't find it. No, it'll come to me at some point. He was cut by somebody today, and I think the Giants are going to pick him up. But everyone thought that the Giants would go for like Olave or something, but it doesn't appear to be the case. Ray. Is it Ray McLeod?
Possibly.
Yeah.
Let's go with Ray McLeod.
Yeah.
By the way,
I want to say the Falcons cut him, but I can't remember off the top of my head.
Sounds like a really terrible rap name.
Ray McLeod. There are some terrible rap names out there. I mean, massive segue here, and we'll keep it for the rap podcast. However, there's one rapper that I always like bring up when we talk about names. There's a rapper called Dave. For anybody who's not in the UK, we just have a rapper called Dave. And for the life of me, I hoped his name wasn't Dave. I was hoping that it was like James or Bill or Brian, and he was like, "What are we choosing for the rap name?" Dave. But his name actually is Dave, so that's just him there. I think Mr. Trick.
Very
like David, and he's like, "That's just Dave."
Yeah, very very talented musician, by the way. Like
he is. New album dropping soon.
Yep, new album will be dropping at the end. Sorry, this has turned into the rap podcast.
It has. Go on.
New album will be dropping at the end of November.
Excellent, love that. Good work, Dave. Also sounds good when you say it. So yeah, well played. On to some obvious. Do we have like an IR of the week section at this point? That a week has not gone by where a big name has not gone down. So rattle them off, Alex.
Well, is he an IR? Is he a big name? We've debated this long ago. He is to this podcast by this point. Darren Waller is now on IR. So the Dolphins suck even more now.
But we suck again.
they were the other trade candidate for the Giants, or even the Bucks were in the market for a wide receiver, and the other speedster who has not currently got a knee that is sideways is Jalen Waddle. So
yeah, but they can't now, can they?
No,
with the Walrus out.
Yeah, the big man Waller is out, so he goes to IR, so he'll miss 4 weeks minimum. But like I probably think they won't bring him back for the rest of the season because they brought him out of the dusty sarcophagus that was Darren Waller's career and gave him another 2 weeks of gloriousness, and now he's injured. So bye bye, Darren.
They brought him in, and he went immediately onto IR as well. One of our like earliest news stories was Darren Waller has like signed with the Dolphins. He's on IR. Then we made a fuss about him being off IR, out to play. We spoke about him a couple of weeks saying, look, see, he was almost like one of the mascots of the pod, and now he's on to IR. Let's see if we can shoehorn in some Waller news over the rest of the season. I doubt it, but watch this space. Never say never. I love it.
The other one is
Peyton.
Yeah,
still salty. Oh no, wait, we're on IR watch.
We were on IR watch, but I was just going to move on to Peyton. So I'm sorry I did your job for you. I apologize. Yeah, Sean Payton hates Russell Wilson. It's fun. We've got no idea why. Absolutely no idea why.
We don't know why. We were just having a little chat about it, and being a Saints fan, you said, you've watched Sean Payton and a bunch of like Saints games. Is there a reason that he doesn't like Dangerous Mr. Unlimited Wilson? And I can't think of one. I genuinely can't. But I remember him having a bee in his bonnet when he got to the Broncos about having to start Russ Wilson. Obviously, any coach wants to pick their own quarterback, and he got stuck with the man-child that is Mr. Unlimited. But I just don't know what his beef is. And to be publicly kind of like having a poke at him for no reason, absolutely none. Like they beat him for one thing. Russ didn't even play, so it was a bit of a strange shot across the bow from Sean Payton. It was a bit of it could be a bit of a knob from time to time, but Russ fired back. You quoted him to me earlier.
Russ did. He said classless, but not surprised. Didn't realize you're still bounty hunting 15 years later through the media. #Let's ride.
He gave it the let's ride as well. Broncos country. That's right. God bless you, Russ. Like, stay classy, the pair of you. Obviously, they've not got better things to do with their lives than beef at each other. I wonder if they had like arguments when he was there and stuff, or there was loads of reports that Russ had like his entourage and his own little dressing room and all of this like stuff. So I can see Peyton not liking that. But yeah, bring up Bounty Gate all you like. We got a Super Bowl. I don't care how ended Brett Favre's career. Turns out that he's a piece of trash anyway. So retrospectively, we did the world a favor.
All right, we'll carry on with Russ talk. Is Russell Wilson a Hall of Famer?
Don't, because in my mind he is. I really like him. I was like excited to go see him when he signed for the Broncos, and I think he was injured and I didn't get the opportunity. But I like him. I like the way that he plays, or I guess that he did play. I don't think he'll get in because of all the hoo-ha around it. It won't be until he's, I don't know, late 60s where they like trot him out. But like the entire Legion of Boom really would get in before him, because like Richard Sherman in my eyes is Hall of Fame, and he kind of essentially carried that team, I would say. So plus he had his own little beef with Russell. Wherever Wilson goes, people don't like him, including his teammates that he won Super Bowls with. So no, I'm going with a no. He's in my Hall of Fame, and in the off season, I'm sure we'll put together something like our own little Halls of Fame. But I guess we'll see it out. Crack on. Daniels out Sunday against Chiefs with hamstring. What? So we're back on IR watch.
Yeah, well, Rappaport said earlier on today that they're not sure how long he's going to be out, but it is a hamstring injury. He's got scans tomorrow to see if he's torn it or he's just pulled it. So, but Marcus Mariota will be playing quarterback for the Washington Commanders.
I mean, fair enough. He had a pretty decent tryout when he did start from a few weeks ago. I believe Daniel's mother has come out and said, don't make the similarities between him and a particular other Washington quarterback. I was all ready to start calling him RG4. But no, Mama Daniels says, do not compare the two. It is not the same. So the least we could do is respect somebody's mother's wishes.
I am very surprised RG3 has not come out and said he would not be fit to lace my boots or something like that. Because RG3 is also one of the he's in the Russell Wilson camp of, if anybody says anything bad about me, I will come out and I will say something. So I'm very surprised he's kept quiet about that one.
He likes to be in the news, does RG3. God bless him. But no, nothing so far from Robert Griffin III, who, if he'd have won a Super, I think he's a better QB than Russ. I find him very, very exciting, especially that first season. So I'm still like starry-eyed from that, and I think he was treated incredibly poorly. But such is life. Okay, we're out of
IR watch.
IR talk. We are right. Crosby, talk to me.
He wants to leave the Las Vegas Raiders because they suck, and he's one of the best defensive players in the league.
He is.
And you would put him in that category of top 4. I don't think they're definitely top 4 of him, Garrett, Watt, the other one who oh my God, him, Garrett, Watt. Why am I blanking on that guy?
Are we talking Parsons?
Yeah, that's it. That's who I was talking about. Parsons, and then you've got Hutchinson as well. There's the 5. There's the 5 that you would think. That's why. Thank you. But my question is why would you then trade for Crosby, who is incredibly expensive, when you've just got rid of an incredibly expensive pass rusher? So
well, that's it. You didn't mention that he's trying to force a trade to the Cowboys.
Yes, of course.
That seems to be part of the story there. Which, yeah, I did have to reread that a couple of times myself, because it was like Jerry Jones talked a big game about like trying to stop the run, which hilariously then they got absolutely ran all over. So now just bringing in Crosby would fit that team incredibly well. It would be a phenomenal move on both parts, but Jerry ain't paying him. Jerry doesn't care if they win anything. Jerry knows that they're just going to keep making money hand over fist and be the most profitable sports team in all of the universe. I think it's a weird move for Crosby to start talking about getting away from there. I think they're at the beginning of a really cool rebuild. This, to me, well, they brought Brady in. They've started to like move some pieces around. I know people talk about leaving, but I could just see on the cusp of things, although the division is going to be incredibly difficult for the next couple of years, I think that the Raiders have a sneaky chance at building a better culture there. Is that, or it's going to be a fire sale? Because I forgot his name now, but one of the receivers was talking about getting out of Dodge.
He's the expatriates guy. We've talked about him before. Yeah.
This is where we miss Pete, the encyclopedia of names.
That's it. We've talked about him before.
Jacoby Myers?
Jacoby Myers. Jacoby Myers is the guy.
Is.
Jacoby Myers is the guy. At least when Pete rewatches this, if he does watch it, he'll go, I knew that immediately. It was Jacoby Myers.
Shouting at the camera from the bunker that we've got him locked in. What? Right, we've got a list of names here, and I don't understand.
So these are the people that are on our document where we describe it. These are the list of people that Max Crosby has now followed in the last 12 hours on Instagram to showcase to everybody that he wants to go to the Cowboys. These are Jake Ferguson, Jadeveon Clowney, Samuel Williams, Trayvon Diggs, Jalen Tolbert, Dante Fowler Jr., and Malik Hooker.
Okay, but does it actually spell something out? Is it just a misnomer? Is he playing 4D chess here? I think it says Cleveland. That's what it appears to say. Right? If you move enough of the letters around, you could probably spell out any team that you wanted to in there. So, congratulations, Miami Dolphins! You're about to get Mason Crosby. God bless you. Yeah, that is all of the news. I like doing the news first. That's all right. But now I've realised that none of my like intro things really work for this because we go like Bangs of Trash usually kicks off, but now we're not kicking off. So now where are we going? So I'm just gonna give it the old halftime. Because we haven't played that in a couple of weeks, so I chucked that one in there to split up the segments. But I'm going to have to make one for Bangers and Trash, which we are going to have a chat about. Week 7 feels like a long time since Week 7 happened. I'm starting to think that maybe we should stop naming our podcast after the week that has gone past, so people are not living in the past, so to speak. But we're more of a things that we enjoyed in that week. All of mine are bangers, apart from one. And I'm just going to start with it. Trash, and I've put punching down. It's Dolphins. Just need to throw that out there. The Miami Dolphins are, and I've put WTF. We're a semi-family show, so I won't say what WTF stands for. But Miami, man, like, what are they? What? Just what? Why is Tua and McDaniels just having shots at each other in their own little podiums? At this point, I don't think there's any press there because I only see the front. I think they're at home. They've got their own backdrop, and every now and again they just come out like it's the worst rap battle of all time. They say something stupid and vague and take shots at each other. And now they're benching Tua for God, I can't even remember his name. Pete knows. He's out there somewhere screaming from the hill that we've tied him to a post on. What? Like, he could be anywhere. But yeah, so that's it. Just absolute trash. And I'm going to combine this with a banger as well. And I've put Cleveland, bless them. Because they got that win, and it really made them think that they were a football team, didn't it? And that was really nice. And that was a lovely, lovely moment for the Cleveland Browns. To just absolutely trounce a team that is essentially just not playing. So they've put the controller down in Miami, and the kid online at the other end is like, Mom, look, I've scored 30 points on this team. It's like, sure you did. You're playing as the Browns again. Oh, bless you. So yeah, they were a bit of a banger though. It was cool to see some stuff coming out of there, especially Quinshon Judkins.
Yep.
Yeah, 3 touchdowns. Just absolutely like smashing it in there. Fantasy owners go wild. You can't ever go wrong with a Cleveland Brown running back because for some reason, even though they're the only team I think that don't abandon the run when they're usually losing, so you could rely on that to happen. But anything on the Dolphins or the Cleveland, or do you want to move on to something?
It was Quinn Ewers that will be the backup for.
Well, start now.
Tua Tagovailoa. But if Quinn Ewers sucks, it is Zach Wilson that is the third string QB.
Yes. Now we're talking. Oh yeah, yes. The resurgence of Zach Wilson. To start him, I don't know who this Ewers kid is, but Zach Wilson, he deserves his shot. If we've seen anything from ex-Jets QBs, it's that they're amazing. The Jets sure can pick them. Yes,
so
let's get Zach suited up in Miami.
There we go. That's the only reason that we might have to watch the Dolphins is just be on Zach Wilson watch to see if Zach Wilson gets anything over the next couple of weeks. But no, they're really, really bad. And in his pre-game press conference before week 8, McDonald is back at it again, being weird on the podium. We've discussed this multiple times throughout the podcast. We will discuss it multiple times more because, again, he is a weird dude. He said, what's the game plan for this week, coach? Well, we're not going to go out there and throw 10 picks.
Good plan. So it's either 11 or 9.
So
just
yeah.
Not 10.
Just not 10.
Yeah, okay. So run it.
We're just not going to throw 10 picks. And I'm like, okay, right, yeah, no, that makes absolutely 0 sense, man. Like, what are we doing here? Why are we even bothering? So, yeah, the Dolphins are really bad.
If you're the ownership, by the way, shouldn't you at this point be to say, stop you're not even allowed on the podium. Like now, you're not helping anyone by doing any of this. Stop being a douche.
He is what is referred to in many a sport. I'm not entirely sure it is in the NFL. A dead man walking.
Yes. Consistently surprised that he has not been given the heave ho. Every like Monday/Tuesday, I think, is today the day that we don't that we get the news through, and we don't, which means they've got no faith in whoever else is running that show. So, sorry, getting number one pick.
Get the number one pick, get a top 5 pick, whatever. Blow the whole thing up. Get a new GM, get a new head coach, get new staff in all over the place. Maybe even get a new starting QB. But as Pete said last week, the quarterback class in this college isn't the greatest.
Yeah, it's fine.
None of them are your franchise quarterback. None of them are you would sell your soul for them like as a franchise QB. But anyway, that's just them. Like since we're on the hate train, can we talk about the Oakland Raiders? No,
The
Las
Oakland
Vegas
Raiders.
We can talk about the Oakland Raiders, the fact that they don't exist. Can we talk about the Las Vegas Raiders and the fact
We sure
how bad
can.
they are? Because they've done something truly unique, which I don't know if they're aware of how unique and how terrible they actually are. So, like obviously, they got absolutely battered by the Chiefs this week. Let's just say that. It was embarrassing. It was awful. It was terrible. They had 29 offensive plays this week, and the Chiefs had 30 first downs.
Wow, that's historic.
That's not even my most crazy stat of this. When your defense allows 0 points, there's less than 100 yards and less than 5 first downs. This has happened multiple times in the NFL, but the last time it happened was also with an Oakland team that was the Raiders, and it was in 2008. Now I will maybe play a little guessing game with you, as the team is in your division, as you are a Saints fan. Who was the team that were playing the Raiders that day in 2008?
Oh wait, I'm gonna have to guess the Carolina Panthers.
It was not.
All right, so Falcons.
It was the Atlanta Falcons. So yeah, the Falcons battered the Raiders in 2008, and it's only happened 3 other times. The Jaguars at Cleveland. So Cleveland were the team that didn't score any points, had less than that. And again, the Steelers at Cleveland. That was in '99, and then in 1992, the Eagles at Denver. So yeah, it's happened a bunch, but not very much in 17 years.
Incredible stuff. Incredible stuff. You gotta love like records being broken. There's actually, before we do, I'm gonna like drop a stat that I've just remembered. I don't suppose you know who is the only starting QB to not throw a pick this season so far?
It's Baker Mayfield, isn't it? No,
it's Justin Fields. Yep, for anybody on audio, Alex is just holding his face. Moving on. Speaking of records that were broken, an absolute banger, which comes from a bit of a trash game, to be fair. Matt Stafford. God damn. 5 touchdowns in London, in Wembley specifically, and the most in a London game with 5 of those. A wonderful display of absolutely smashing what would be considered the home team. And the Jags aren't a bad team. I don't know what happened there. And like LA showed up, I don't know, 20 minutes before the game started or whatever it was. Arrive, raise hell, leave. They really stone cold Steve Austin that one. So yeah, I was watching it and it was one of those where you just start to look away a little bit, where you're like, it's just carrying on. And there's bigger stories about international games and getting good teams and bad teams and all of this kind of stuff. I like that we have the Jags each year. I think it's quite nice to have that kind of like home team, and you could always get a ticket because they don't sell out, so that's always like a bonus as well. I'm sure the quality won't increase over the years, but hey, it's the Jags.
The issue with the Jags and the UK bases is that obviously the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Sadiq Khan, is Sadiq Khan's the London mayor. Oh my God. The owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars also owns Fulham Football Club.
He does, yeah.
Like his name is blanking me. And it's so funny. Pete, I miss you terribly, my man. It's Shad Khan. It's Shad Khan. It's Shad Khan. Shad Khan owns both both Fulham Football Club and the Jacksonville Jaguars. He's said repeatedly that the Jags will never come to London. They won't move here full time. They won't do anything like that. But it's funny that you say that the Jags never sell out in London, even though they're based, they're like a London home thing and doing everything like that. Fulham Football Club haven't sold out a football game in 2.5 seasons.
Wow.
Mainly because their tickets are £90 a piece. Because Shad Khan's a greedy man who can't run organisations, apparently, because the Jaguars upstairs is awful and a dumpster fire, and Fulham upstairs is awful and a dumpster fire. I've said this before. I will say it again. This isn't even an alleged. This is truth. They are bad. There you go. Shad Khan, you're not good for this industry or business. Go away, please.
But he never did. No. Is the moral of that story. He just stuck around and carried on going. So go on. What was good or what's bad? We've been relatively negative. What you got some good stuff to give me?
I do. I want a different QB to win MVP. I've talked about it before. I've talked about it millions of times. I've said I've been on the Baker hype train since week 1. He's my guy. I really have. I will repeatedly say it again. His stats level with Patrick Mahomes this season. That's how good he's been. And Patrick Mahomes had a really good year. The only thing that Patrick Mahomes beats Baker Mayfield on this season is rushing touchdowns, where Patrick Mahomes has 4, Baker doesn't have any. But that's basically it. The rest of them are really quite close. But I do want to say, we said about breaking records earlier as well. There was one more record that was broken, and that was by Mr. Drake May.
Okay.
91.3 completion percentage this week.
Oh,
that is a franchise record. That's franchise record. Now you think, who used to play for the New England Patriots?
Cam Newton.
I walked into that one. I'll give you that one.
Sure did. Yeah.
Well, right into that one. I really did. Also, the dude that's backing up in San Francisco, Mac Jones, that's his name.
Mac Jones was there too. Yeah. He's done better than both Cam Newton and Mac Jones as a New England Patriot.
It's so surprisingly unreal, and I can't believe it. But yeah, he is now for the highest record completion percentage in a game. That is a New England Patriots record. The other one that we need to discuss is Dak Prescott, and I've been on Dak Prescott all the way through this one as well, and I always will do. He is a fantastic human being and a great quarterback. Now I need to find where it is. There's the one that I was looking for. His highest, he is second all time since 1970. Sorry, second since 1970 in highest win percentage in his division.
Wow, that's pretty crazy actually, because I mean, they've not been like dominant or anything. Like they struggle to make the playoffs. So that's actually quite impressive, to be fair. Good on you, Dakota Prescott. So you're saying Drake May, Baker Mayfield, Dakota Prescott, all MVP candidates. I'm chucking Matt Stafford in there. I think that he's been undersold. I love that Drake May pick though. Like I would like him to just get a little nod. Somebody like tips the hat, give him a vote, be like, it's like an MVP performance, but you're not necessarily the guy to do it. And you've put, quote, should be favorites for MVP, but aren't going to win. Are you saying it's a 2-horse race?
I'm saying none of them will win. I'm saying Patrick Mahomes will win MVP.
Ugh. Fine, give him MVP, but he's not going to the playoffs.
That's like I'm saying because like he's having a really good Patrick Mahomes year. Let's not bat around the bush. He's having a good Patrick Mahomes year, and he's back to being the best Patrick Mahomes that we see. And when we see good Patrick Mahomes, we see it. But what we need to look at, and we need to go, well, actually, Pat, when you are this, it's really good. But when we've got other players that are also there with you, that's really, really good. So they maybe need to get a trophy this year. Is that going to be okay? No. I want the trophy. It's mine. And so they will give it him. They'll give Patrick Mahomes the MVP.
It feels very like Michael Jordan. Like, it doesn't matter how good somebody is. Is like, well, fine. If you want to be that good, well, I'm going to be better. Just out of spite.
Yep. That's what you get when you are watching a generational talent take over this league and be better than anyone has ever been at that position and in this sport. Arguably, he is phenomenal and always will be. We're not hating on him. Please, Chiefs fans, if you are watching, don't come in the comments and be like, "Why do you hate Patrick Mahomes? He's great. He's really good." But come on, Drake May, Baker Mayfield, Dak Prescott, they aren't normally this good. Let's give them some flowers too, please.
Alex doesn't speak for us both. I've disliked Patrick Mahomes since before it was cool because he took Alex Smith's job. All right. And I had a huge crush on Alex Smith and the way that he played. And I thought that Pat was going to be a flash in the pan. And I was wrong. But still, I'm going to continue to assume such things. I genuinely thought that he was just going to like have a one season and a fizzle out from that.
I'm going to be wrong here, but I'm going to ask you a question. Didn't Patrick Mahomes only play because Alex Smith broke his leg in like 24 places? Or was that after the Patrick Mahomes started over Alex Smith?
That was after.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, they benched Alex Smith in week 17, I think it was. Stuck Pat in for one. I can't remember if it's because he'd already made the playoffs or whatever. And anyway, Pat looked lights out, and everyone went, "Oh my God, it's the second coming of Jesus." And then Alex Smith went to Washington, spent a good amount of time there, I believe, before he did his leg in. Then came back for that one season, and they called it a day. But yes. Yeah, fine. Mahomes, give him the MVP. We'll just give him it. But it should be Baker. And like when we talk MVP, which we'll probably get to like a bigger discussion on what is an MVP. I truly think that MVP should be the most valuable player, as in the player that actually brought the most value to their team. And you couldn't swap him out for anybody else. So with that being said, right now that is Pat Mahomes. Because you couldn't just drop anybody in there. It's not like the 49ers can chuck in any old, 6-foot white boy back there and do the exact same thing. I had to rub my eyes because I didn't know if it was Purdy or Mac Jones playing this gone weekend. Like, I still don't know. I don't know who's starting this week. They could do the full on switcheroo, like the twins and whatnot, like just.
Parent Trap. You're thinking of Parent Trap right there.
Yeah, thank you. They could be just absolutely pulling the wool over our eyes. That's why they look great, because we just don't know. They just keep swapping out, so they look really fresh all the time. Can't predict their movements. They're the same guy. They're just cloned somewhere in a factory.
I'm not disputing it. I don't even think Kyle Shanahan knows who is starting this weekend.
No, he doesn't. He just says, "You tall white boy, get out of there." That's what we're doing. I'm going to check out some. Another banger. I already alluded to Judkins, but I've called this awesome. But I've made the E a 3, so or threesome. Sounds bad now. I've said it.
It does, yeah.
Yeah. Probably should have changed the one at the end, so it should have got like awesome 3. Anyway, 3 different players all got a hat trick this weekend, and it was cool. Like it really felt like nobody could have nice things. Like Judkins scored 3 touchdowns, and that would be a headline. Taylor scored 3 touchdowns, that would be a headline. Devontae Adams scored 3 touchdowns, that would be a headline. All 3 of them did it. We had a hat trick of hat tricks, and that was pretty pretty damn cool to see. Granted, they were all against absolute morons, so it wasn't really a struggle for them. At one point, I watched one of Taylor's touchdowns and thought it was a replay of a previous one. I didn't know that it was his third. I just thought they were showing it again. But it was good. You like to see things like that.
You really do, and he's been the best running back in the league this year, which is baffling because he was something like RB15 before the season even started, and no one was drafting him, and he was going in like 5th rounds. So like everyone was like, "Oh my God, Taylor, who drafted this guy? Who took the punt? Go you!" Because he's been fantastic. He really, really has. Judkins, as you've already said, the Cleveland Browns don't give up on the run at all, but Devontae Adams been the one that has really shocked me because, like, I didn't think they were going to be a running team all this season. So I'm really glad that they've swapped it.
Oh wait, did you think they were going to be a running team because Devontae Adams is a pass catcher?
Why am I'm losing my mind? Yes, that's the one that we'll go for. We'll go for that one. Yes, I thought they were going to run the ball a lot, but then he scored 3 touchdowns. My God, I'm so sorry.
No, that's perfectly okay. Before you go into your next bit, I'm just gonna like trot out. Let's just talk about the Thursday. Everyone's talking about Unk Bowl. The combined age of the starting QBs is 81, which is madness. We all couldn't believe it when Tom Brady was playing at 40, and now we have 2 40-plus-year-olds going against each other, throwing absolute dimes. I've written, we really had it good in 2013 and a random Thursday in 2025. Because we got Baltimore Ravens Joe Flacco. Like, that was just...
It was primetime Joe. It was exceptional. Plus, we also had an Aaron Rodgers flip out, which is what you want.
That's like exactly what you get to see.
Yeah, you have Aaron Rodgers be Aaron Rodgers classically and throwing just dimes in the air, like beautiful balls. Oh my God, they were just flying all over the place, and it was so accurate and so clean, and it was amazing. And the Bengals were good. They were a little bit more frantic and a little bit more scrappy and a little bit more, is this going to actually work? Which is expected because it's Joe Flacco's second week. But you saw why they paid so much money for that wide receiver duo, because they dominated the corners and the safeties and blitzed everybody that they were up against. And they were awesome. They were phenomenal.
I did see a picture of Joe sat next to the other two, well, the actuals, it's starting Bengals QBs, and the caption underneath was just went, "Oh no, it's really easy. Just throw it to number 1." And they were like, "Oh." I enjoyed that quite a lot. It's like, it's so simple. Just chuck it to Jamar Chase and you're gonna get some points. Beautiful thing. And yeah, just man, the Cleveland Browns, what a legendary thing to do. Like, you're not going to win the division. The least you could do is screw over the Steelers. They've got to be so mad. I love it so much.
The really funny thing is if it was it could only be the Bengals that needed this. If it was the Ravens, they would have very politely told them to go stick it where the sun doesn't shine. If it was the Steelers, they would have not very politely told them to go stick it where the sun doesn't shine. They are the hatred for the Steelers and the Ravens, especially because obviously they stole the franchise, is so deep. But the Bengals is kind of like the younger brother, where you hate them and you're still like, really like, oh, go away. Yeah, we don't spend time with it. But when they're in their hour of need, you will be there for them.
Yeah, don't be upset. Have my dessert. That kind of thing.
That's it.
Like, yeah. We don't need Joe. Like, we're not competing anyway. Look, you take him. We'll start someone else. We've got 6. Like, we'll just like chuck you on over. Excellent. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And God knows what's going to happen in that division. Just quickly talking about divisions. The AFC, the current top of each division. Stop me when you realize that it's not 2008. The Patriots, Steelers, Colts, and Broncos are all at the top of their divisions, man. And quote, the NFC at least got the memo: Eagles, Packers, Bucks, Niners. Everything that you would expect. But the AFC is just wild.
And honestly, man, we're going to talk about it a little bit later. Like some divisions are just incredible this season. Some of them are absolutely awful and garbage. Your own division is a mess, and like it is terrible. You could have the Panthers win that division. No, you couldn't, because
I want the Panthers to win that. That's how crazy bad it is down there. That I would love to see it.
They won't win it, but it'd be fun. But it's great. The Colts, especially, like I haven't got them. I've got them written down. The only person with the Colts that I've got them written down is just one person specifically. But with the Colts, I can segue just straight into them. They're first in a lot of things in attacking. In amount of sacks allowed, they're first in like the least amount, if that makes sense, in the in the league. They're first in yards per play. They're first in points per game, and they're first in points per drive.
That's crazy. The wheels are going to fall off. I'm telling you, that Colts team, they're not going to make the playoffs. People are saying Super Bowl. I'm saying there's a long season ahead of us. I don't know how long I could hold on to this. Like, I'm Leo in Titanic holding onto that door, being like, "Is there still some space?" Like,
there's not enough room for both of you. Is it going to be the Colts or is it going to be Joel's prediction? I think it's probably the Colts, man. But there's one boy on the Colts that is the superstar. And yes, we can talk about Danny Dimes till we're blue in the face, but we've had a little bit of a reaction of Danny Dimes. It's Tyler Warren.
Ooh, what a guy!
What a guy! There was a video that was released earlier this week from the actual Indianapolis Colts. And I should have mentioned this while we were laughing at the Dolphins, but I didn't. And it's from the Colts draft room when the Dolphins pass on Tyler Warren.
Oof.
And the GM of the Colts, head coach Shane Steichen is crying with laughter. The GM of the Colts is getting up because he cannot believe that they've just passed on Tyler Warren. And everyone is losing their minds. They are really, really, really happy about this. And it's incredible viewing. It's only about a minute long, but definitely 100% go and check it out. It's on all of their social media platforms. It's great because the Dolphins obviously drafted Kenneth Grant. Who's that guy?
Absolutely not. No, he was in Jurassic Park now. Yeah, blue shirt. Took his glasses off slowly.
But the one thing I wanted to mention about Tyler Warren, which is why I think he's going to be Offensive Rookie of the Year. I know we've got loads of great rookies that are in this division. Cam Ward's obviously there. We've got loads of and Buka's been thrown around. We've got loads of them, right? But if we go position by snap count before the game, this is Tyler Warren's positions. Okay, so tight end 169. He's lined up 169 times in the tight end position. Slot, as a slot receiver, he's lined up 60 times. It's good. Multi-dimensional tight end. It's what we've talked about. We want wide receiver as your wide receiver 1, 32. Okay, it's a little bit out there, but yeah, all right, yeah, that's fine. Fullback 22. Okay, so he's blocking. He's doing that? That's great. That's awesome. Quarterback 1.
What?
When did he line up as a QB? But he did. He's lined up as behind the quarterback slot. Didn't take a direct snap. They played. They did a wildcat option where the direct snap went to the running back, and then they ran for a 2-yard loss. But Tyler Warren is lining up all over the line, and it's incredible to see. And this kind of diversity is what makes him Offensive Rookie of the Year. Just give him the award now. Just do it in week 8. It doesn't matter. No one else is going to top him. He's the best. He's so phenomenal.
So you're telling me that my £1 bet on Ashton Genty at the beginning of the season isn't going to come in?
Yes.
Mate, I could have done with the £3.40 that would have dropped on me there, but hey, such is. You've got a lot of people in your list just suck here. You've got Cardinals suck worse in NFL history.
Yes. So, sorry, this is a great stat, and I'm pulling them all out today, which is simply incredible. The Cardinals have lost the fourth quarter of the game or of a game for the first time. Let me find this stat. I'm so sorry. I have this incredible statistic there for them, which is not Pro Football Focus losing their mind or doing anything like that. It's about the Cardinals. Where is it? Oh my God!
I could do a little dance. Don't you worry about it.
Please, the Cardinals. There it is. The Cardinals have made NFL history by being the first team to lose 3 games straight while being 7+ points up in the fourth quarter.
Wow, good work, Cardinals. You love to see records broken. 3 in a row, back to back to back. The three-peat. How many teams can three-peat like that?
I mean, no one else has three-peated like that ever. No. Only them. Only them. And they obviously could make it worse this weekend. I don't think they will, but they might do. However, they are terrible. They are really, really not a very good team. And they are...
Which, by the way, is crazy because they it looks like they were going to win at one point. It was mad. Like, it genuinely, like, my accumulator was in the hands of Green Bay. And I was like, well, there's always one funny one, isn't there? You pick 6 teams, and there's always the one that you expect to come through that doesn't. So I genuinely thought the Packers were going to let me down there. But oof, good on the Cardinals going for that record, netting my 45-1 £1 bet come in. Oh, yeah, that's how we roll on a Sunday. Pick all the first round of kickoffs, stick a quid on them. I was doing the handicap as well, man. Like, it's even more impressive that I went that way. And then the afternoon ones didn't quite pan out.
They can't officially break. They can't extend the streak this week because they are on a bye week. But they have a chance to do it in week 9 as they will play the Dallas Cowboys.
Well, we'll talk consecutive games, maybe not consecutive weeks, but nobody's done it 4 games in a row. So we'll keep an eye out for that one. Right, and that has been the Bangs and Trash for week 7. But I believe you have a prepared statement from Pete, who definitely is not in an attic somewhere with a sock in his mouth.
I really hope he isn't, because this is actually coherent from Pete. So obviously, as we do every week on this podcast, we are going to discuss the Chicago Bears, and they are incredible. They're amazing. Give Dennis Allen all the props in the world. I don't know why the Saints got rid of him. Maybe because he wasn't a good head coach. But like, a revenge game is always what you want. A revenge game is bittersweet, and it is incredible. The Saints were very bad, but let's go with Pete's address statement, as we will say. Caleb was poor by his standards. Something that he has called out himself since. He's not only done it on social media, but he did it in press conferences. But this running game and running defense is very, very dangerous. Pete talked a lot about DeAndre Swift last week. I did as well. Oh my God, man, that guy is electric. You can now see why they signed him and why they push so hard for him, because he can really change the way that offense looks. Swift obviously gets all the plaudits, but Monagai.
Yeah,
Well done, Monagai.
I read it a lot. I don't know.
Monagai had a day as the linebacker as well. Awesome. Dennis Allen, he is in the bangers category. We're giving him his plaudits. We've done it. He could again be a head coach. I can see it. He definitely could be, but I think this Bears team kind of want to let it ride and see what they're going to definitely had. The Saints had no answer for the DBs. Spencer Rattler, bless him, he got rattled, didn't he?
He did. Let me just switch over for a quick, brief New Orleans, Louisiana ethical tank moment brought to you by this flat Pepsi Max that I'm currently drinking. Boy, did we make the Bears look good this week. Out there ethically tanking. We saw everything the Jets were doing. We saw everything that Miami was doing. And we were like, let's not be too obvious. Let's still make it look, I'm going to say, semi-competitive and at least score some points, which the Raiders didn't even do. Okay. All right. So we still, what was it? 14-26. I just had to check that because I genuinely thought we'd only scored one touchdown. So yeah, good for you, Chicago. Credit to you and your current longest winning streak in the NFL. Well played there. Who you've played is a different tale altogether. But hey, we're going to have at this point, top 3 pick. Might end up being top 5. I don't know how we can suck at sucking, but here we go. Anyway, back to the weekly Chicago chat.
So 4 takeaways this week from that Saints offense that the Bears defense have this week, and only allowed 44 yards rushing.
Wow.
It would have been 5 takeaways, but Nashawn Wright barged into Kevin Boward as he was catching the ball, so he dropped the 5th one. But hey, that Chicago defense was absolutely outstanding. They were properly incredible and deserve all the plaudits that everybody has been giving them, because they are an incredible football team, and I really like them. Pete's really turned me around on them. Before this season, I was like, nah, Chicago Bears suck. But Pete's probably turned me around on them. And as you said, yes, he has that. It's
quite convincing.
It's the burrowing in the back of my brain where I'm kind of like, I've been not brainwashed into liking the Chicago Bears, but like there's a little implant in the back of my head going, the Bears are okay, The Bears are okay.
Yeah, this is how Trump got into power. Just FYI, that's the exact same parallels that you're experiencing. You just got to look out. I've been president for a long time. He could convince anyone of anything. He is a sneaky balcony salesman by trade. You just got to look out.
And as you said, this is their longest winning streak and the longest winning streak in the NFL. But this one is the longest for the Bears since 2018.
Wow. That doesn't feel long enough to be a wow, actually. I'm taking that wow back. Like 2018 was 2 years ago. So I'm not
it was 7.
Allowing that. Yeah. Tomato.
But yeah, that's the weekly Bears chat. Well, hopefully Pete likes it.
Don't care if he does. He didn't show up. This is unapproved time off. Okay, I didn't put the request in. On to topic of the week. Okay, topic of the week / topic of the show. Can't decide what I'm actually going to call it, but here we are. Relatively a quick one. We've talked a lot about a lot of them, but I just want to highlight, and the title of this week's show is West is Best. Both the AFC West and the NFC West have 3 teams each that would currently be in the playoffs now. And I think the AFC West have got the 3 of the top 7. So it's not even like all of them have snuck into wildcard spots here. So in the AFC West, we've got the Broncos with 5 wins, the Chargers with 4 wins, and the Chiefs with 4 wins. All 3 of those looking pretty damn good and enjoyable to watch every single week. And for me, that goes further than whether or not I like Patrick Mahomes or anything along those lines. It's about whether or not you're watching it and you are entertained. Are you sports entertained? And with the Broncos, Chargers, and Chiefs especially, I know whenever I put them on, there's going to be drama, there's going to be fun, there's going to be some hella like catches, just odd, weird things. Pat Mahomes is going to shut his eyes, throw it backwards, and somebody's going to do a somersault and catch it. There's just going to be something enjoyable to watch across that. And you know what? That also Niners, Seahawks, Rams. I was behind the Niners early doors. I forgot about the Rams completely. Not gonna lie. I did have the Cardinals being one of these three teams to be in those playoffs. I knew the AFC West was going to do all right. I just had it kind of the wrong way around. I didn't see the Seahawks coming, to be fair. But again, watching regular season Sam Darnold, great fun, isn't it? Just go and do that joke maybe in the playoffs. But then you've got to think when it comes to, let's say the playoffs were today, Broncos, Chargers, Chiefs. One of them is a legit Super Bowl contender in the Chiefs. Let's muse for a second. Could you see a run from the Chargers or the Broncos? Are they playoff ready teams or are they just winning at the moment?
The Broncos are, yeah. The Broncos are a playoff team. The Chargers are not. The Chargers are too beat up. They can't protect Justin Herbert, who again was pressured above 20 times this week. Although he had the most passing yards of his entire career, with over 400 this week.
The Savannah Bananas as well.
In the banana jersey and the banana armors, he was a lot of fun this week with Justin Herbert. But again, you can't protect him, so there will be a team that has a good defense. The Chiefs, the Broncos, any other team from that division that will take advantage of that and absolutely dominate and destroy you, which is what happened this Sunday going. So yeah, the Broncos are good. Bo Nix is growing and growing and growing as you want early doors QB to be. They've got a world-class head coach. The Chiefs are the Chiefs. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
One of the greatest quarters of football I've ever seen, that fourth quarter as well. What a comeback. But it was both sides as well. Like Jackson Dart just absolutely putting it on the line and diving for a touchdown with 32 seconds left, and all of this like just absolute cinema of thing. I had that game on and red zone in the corner of my eye, and Christ alive, I would watch that every single week. Like in wrestling, you'll get people just chanting "fight forever," and that's exactly what I wanted from the Giants Broncos. It felt personal. It felt real playoffy, even though the Giants aren't a playoff team. They just act like it sometimes and then find a way to lose. They are ethically tanking quite well, I must say. Sneaky, because nobody realizes that they've only won 2, I think. Yeah. So they're only one win more than the New Orleans Saints. So, like, fair enough. And they're not even potentially trying for anything either. So,
the amazing thing about it is that I don't think that'll ever happen again.
Yeah,
we saw that, and it will never ever happen again. We were here, and this is what. And without getting all emotional, we've gone off the topic completely. But this is the point. Without getting all emotional, for me, this is why we watch this sport. This is why we see it. For moments like this that we're never, ever, ever going to see again. And we'll talk about this five years later when Bo Nix retires or anything like that. And we'll go, you remember the greatest game of his career? Yeah. When they came back and scored 33 points in the fourth quarter. Absolutely. I remember exactly where I was. I remember what I was doing. I remember who I watched with, who I talked about it with. Absolutely. It's incredible.
A random week 7 had no right, absolutely no right to be doing that to us. So credit to him. We probably should have put that in the bangers, to be fair, but I knew we were going to have a chat a little bit later here. All right. Similar question. Niners, Seahawks, Rams. In the playoffs right now, are any of them playoff ready? I actually kind of say no. Maybe the Rams, which is weird. I could see them all getting knocked out in the first round, but it depends what Stafford shows up, whether he's a husk of a man by the time the 18th week of the season comes around, 19th week, I guess, by the time we get to the playoffs. So then the NFC just becomes predictable again, I guess. But it's it's so strange that two divisions have this, because the 96 Rams all have 5 wins as well. And yeah, granted, we're 7 weeks in, so there's still plenty of football to go, but you can see them just all totting up, getting 12 each, and just stealing all of the wildcard spots, and then fighting themselves in the playoffs again. I don't care for any of the matchups here. I'm just kind of thinking, out of the bunch, I want the Niners to do well. I would like them to get back to being fit. That would be better. Credit to them for having 5 wins and being, the replacements, basically. Kittle came back, didn't catch a single ball. First time Kittle's ever started a game and never caught one. He was only targeted twice, though, as well. He did apologize to fantasy managers. Very nice of him to do so. Didn't have to, but good of him. But yeah, could you see any of these making a deep playoff run?
The Rams, their defense is unreal, and I can never remember who said it, but defense wins championships.
Darth Vader. Darth Vader, that.
Yeah. Apart from if you leave the little hole in the vent, no, they can be just fired upon just right if you go down the right trench.
Classic misdirection. He just forgot about it. It'd been a couple of years. Did we patch that hole? Yeah, probably. There's a list of things to do. We've all been there.
Yeah, been busy. Like destroying Alderaan, like dominating the galaxy, being the best Sith Lord ever. Yeah, like it takes a lot out of you. Yeah, completely.
Exactly. He's not going to do it himself either. Come on, like let's be completely honest.
So you gotta look at the other generals on that Death Star. Like that's up to them.
Exactly. That was their responsibility. That has nothing to do with him. He's the coach. All right. That's what he's there to do. Does Pete keep us in check a little bit, do you think? Like we've had like more pop culture moments than usual. Forgot everyone's name and just like blown it up completely. So like who really knows?
I think so, yeah, because he pops like whenever we have like that little bit of a blank moment, he'll pop in and just provides the name, provides the encyclopedia. So like you've done episodes with just Pete, and you've done episodes where it's like just been you and Pete, because obviously life is coming and I've had the unauthorized work absences and I've apologized deeply. But like this is the first time it's just been me and you. So the rails are allowed to come off because like the teacher's away. So like this is
the different dynamic. Like when it was me and him one-on-one, it felt like a fireside chat. Like I was sat talking to him, asking him about serious sports. And now when I'm talking to you, the inmates are running the prison. Like we just go absolutely off the rails. And speaking of which, this is my favorite off the rails segment of the week anyway. The Pickman Flicker, which is going incredibly well for us all here on the podcast. Obviously, nobody wants to win their own thing, so maybe we're ethically tanking as well. But I'm a gentleman's 65 and 43 in 9th place. You are 61 and 47, dragged that back kind of up to 14th place. And Pete is 64-44 in 13th place. The only underdog that I managed to pick was Dallas to beat Washington. I didn't think that was an underdog when I was looking at it anyway. So it felt like a cheat, but the odds were in Washington's favor. I stand by that I picked that one. Although I think in the end, most people did. It wasn't very much an underdog tale from that one. A couple of shout outs before we get into to our like good stuff. I say couple. Well, no, actually, I've got a couple. S Black 74 still dominating at the top with 73-35. So he's screaming ahead of me. He's like got 8 on top of me. So he's first overall. He's taken that himself. And the little segment that I started to do last week, which is one brave soul, I've extended to 2 brave souls. Genuinely picked the Bengals to beat Pittsburgh. They were the only 2, and that's Nevins 98 and Jay Kaplan winning. I don't know what they were drinking, but they were right. They were absolutely right. The Bengals just came out and won the, I want to call it the super old in like a Super Bowl. I know we've
Because
got
you can't
Unk
call it the
Bowl.
Senior Bowl, can you? You can't call
No,
it the
because there
Senior
is a
Bowl.
Senior Bowl.
That's been
Senior
taken.
Citizen Bowl?
Yeah, it just doesn't have the same ring to it.
It doesn't like
you
roll off the
can, you
tongue.
can call it like do a retirement complex, but both of them are still down. They're like, it's really difficult, right? Because you could call it the Zimmer frame game.
Zimmer game?
The Zimmer game, there we go. But then,
Okay, there we go.
But you've got a coach called Zimmer, don't you?
He's ruined it. Damn it, Coach Zimmer. I got the keys to my bimmer. Okay, week
Anyway,
8 underdogs that I picked it.
Workshop that one.
Yet once again, the Dallas Cowboys apparently are the underdogs against the Denver Broncos, which understandable because we've just been like glazing Denver a little bit. But I picked Dallas to beat Denver there. I think that Dallas are just like front to back now, starting to really get into a good groove. I could see them just absolutely taking and winning the NFC East. A couple of missteps from the Eagles, similar to the Broncos Chiefs situation, where the Chiefs will still make the Super Bowl, but I think the Broncos are going to win the division. I think the Eagles will still make the playoffs, but Dallas have a very, very good shot now at redemption after a pretty poor start to what you think. A couple of other underdogs I've got Pittsburgh to beat Green Bay. That's my throw it out there. I don't like it, but I kind of do. Like I think Rodgers has got such a chip on his shoulder coming off of his 2013 banger on Thursday to then go in and go up against the Packers. I could just see him doing it. And Green Bay, like they haven't looked as dominant as I expected them to be. The Cardinals had a very, very good shot at beating them at one point. The Steelers are much better than the Cardinals. I reckon that we could see it. It'll be close, but I think Pittsburgh will nick that one. And also my other one, and I've picked them every single week to win because of the balcony salesman, Chicago to beat Baltimore. Chicago are the underdogs. I think they're classed as that because is Lamar Jackson considered healthy? No, is he not?
He's not playing this week.
Yeah, fair enough. Then God knows why. Everyone seems to think the other way around. The win probability is 72% on Baltimore. The 1-5 Baltimore Ravens have a win probability of 72% over the 4-2 Chicago Bears on a hot streak, who have a win probability of 28%. Chicago, that's going to be the one. A couple of the little bits, sneaky upset. I think Carolina could nick one against Buffalo. I've got a funny little feeling. I'm just saying it's not likely, but stranger things have happened. That could be the one that busts everyone's acca. You pick all of your teams for the week, and then silly Carolina go above and beyond and just nick one against Buffalo. Buffalo have shown that they're human. Right now, I don't know who's the best team in the league. I wouldn't say it was Buffalo. I could just see that. And sneak another upset. The Giants could nick one from Philly as well.
They've done it before.
Yeah.
Done it before. Why not? The other one that I can't actually believe is an underdog at the moment is the 49ers against the Texans.
Oh, yeah. That's interesting.
That's the one that I was like, oh my God, that's really, really interesting.
Is it because technically San Francisco is starting a backup?
I think that probably could be it.
And as we know from CJ Stroud's social media that you told me before the show, CJ Stroud is one of the greatest QBs of all time.
Yes. CJ Stroud put an Instagram post out last night saying top 5 of last year. And then he put 1, Pat, who obviously is Patrick Mahomes. 2, Lamar, who obviously is Lamar Jackson. 3, myself. Not even me, just myself. And he put it as my and then self. Didn't even spell it correctly.
Okay.
So
that's a late post.
Don't really know what CJ is on. 4 is Josh Allen and 5 is Dak. So I'm also, there's another one that's getting picked up. Why is Josh Allen not just Josh?
Oh, it's because it could have meant Josh Jacobs.
That's fair. I'll give you that. Yeah.
Everyone hears Josh and they immediately think, in this list of QBs, Josh Jacobs is what he was thinking at 4.
Of course. Oh, it could have meant Josh Kobe Brissett.
Yes, absolutely. Well played. Like, you really hammered a square peg into a round hole there, didn't you? Good old Josh Kobe Brissett. Yeah. So yeah, that all makes sense now. The 2-4 Houston Texans, who have looked like a bin on fire, do have, in their own opinion, a top 3 QB from the past year, which is why they are favored against the 5-2 49ers, who have just got their like Pro Bowl tight end back. Understandable.
Yeah. The other thing that I just wanted to mention just towards the end was NFL Fantasy put out the worst ever fantasy lineup that's ever been put out in their history. He got 1.9 points. Did this player this week, and he started Tua Tagovailoa, who obviously had minus 1.4.
Mm-hmm.
His running backs were Trayvon Henderson from the Patriots, who got 0.5 of a point. Nick Chubb from the Texans, who we've just mentioned, who had 2.1 points. Jameson Williams, the wide receiver, who had like 6 catches and like loads of target. Actually, didn't even have a target, didn't even have a catch. Was out there the full game of the full 60 minutes. He had no points whatsoever. Cooper Kupp from the Seahawks had 2.2 points. George Kittle, as we mentioned, didn't get a single point either. Jalen Waddle from the Dolphins had 2.5 points. Daniel Carson from the Raiders.
Kicker.
Didn't get a single point because they didn't score a single point either. And the Jaguars defense got -4.
Incredible. Gosh. Because, like, on paper, you look at that before the week starts and you go, yeah, all right, we can compete this week. That is insane. It's not like he tried to tank his team to make a headline. Like, that's a pretty decent starting lineup.
Yep, that's a projected like 99, 98, 98 point team. And like, you might not win every lineup or every matchup, but somebody might have forgot to do their team. Somebody might have left in players they're on by. You picking up a win sometimes, but that is that one.
Fair enough. Right, what's your game of the week, Alex?
I'm actually going to go for one that you've already mentioned, and I feel really bad about it. I think Dallas-Denver is going to be incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. I think that's going to be an incredibly intriguing game. And the other one that is weird, that will be wacky, will be the Buccaneers versus the Saints.
Yeah, there's something about New Orleans that every night, it doesn't matter how good or bad they are, they like to just steal a win from the Bucs.
Yep. And I think that could be one where like everybody's hacker falls up, is just because the history will tell you that the Saints love to steal a win off the Bucs. And obviously we've not really talked about the Bucs this week. Wow, shock. Right, holy moly, we've really not talked about the Bucs this week.
It was all bad news for the Bucs, actually. We opened with Mike Evans.
Yes, of course, yes. And like that, I don't know if anybody watched the game. If you did, fair play to you. I watched the 40-minute highlights that we confidently talk about a lot. There was not a lot of good for the Bucs against the Lions. Now, obviously, you can say it's the Lions, but they need a bounce back. And if it's a bogey team, we could see a little bit of a falter.
Yeah, absolutely. I think games that I've got my eye on that I'll probably watch with like Red Zone in the corner. I'm going to keep an eye on the Chicago game. I think that I've been swayed enough by you and the balcony salesman to check that one out. My sneaky Carolina Buffalo prediction, that one, there's a little part of me, I'm gonna have an eye on that. And the Niners Texans. I think that's, to be fair, that, and then Dallas Denver. There's some really good ones, but a lot of lopsided. Like obviously, Atlanta are going to beat Miami. Obviously, Buffalo are going to beat Carolina. Obviously, the Bengals are going to beat the Jets. There's a lot of one-sided games that will be good for like red zone and fancy owners and stuff. But out of the competitive ones, that's what I'm going to see. Thursday night should be interesting. Two of the nicest color schemes in the NFL go head to head with the Vikings versus the Chargers. Vikings still backing up Wentz.
I'm not sure JJ McCarthy will make it this week.
Fair enough. I'd keep sitting him at this point. You may as well. Wentz is doing absolutely fine. 3-3. It's don't rush him back. It's going to be a long season. Chicago are 4-2. So fair enough from there. But that's going to be it. Special shout out to the daylight savings time. We nearly forgot.
We nearly
Spring forward, fall back. Even though we don't call it fall, it's autumn. So Saturday night, wind your clocks. People still wind clocks? I don't know. Everything in my house updates itself apart from the microwave. The kickoff's at 5 p.m. Gotta love that. Slightly early night for anybody that's watching the late game. If you want to watch in the late game on Sunday, it's actually a reasonable 20 past 12 to watch Green Bay versus Pittsburgh in a probably really cool revenge game. Although you will be up till 3 a.m. still, but who really cares?
It's only 3, isn't it?
That's it. It's only 3. Right. Wind your clocks, people. Have a wonderful time. Thank you for joining Alex and myself for this week's podcast. All the best. I didn't say cool outro.